Hello, my name is Colette Thompson, student at Liberty University in the Applied Psychology Master's Program, specializing in industrial organization psychology. This is my last class, and therefore this will be my last presentation. So I hope you guys enjoy and are able to take some notes. Today for Module 8, I will be discussing managing team performance. Working with others has its peaks and valleys when interacting with a variety of personalities, cultures, and varying belief systems. Varying levels of temperament can be a challenge, as well as not having a clear and comprehensive performance management system that incorporates team performance. Social identity theory exposes human beings' need for belonging regardless of their cultures and beliefs. Although other needs drive performance, the need to belong often can lead to situations like groupthink with devastating outcomes that shakes the organization by its very being, dealing with multiple lawsuits due to inconsistencies in performance management systems. Adding the final layer of team performance management has scholars revisiting group dynamics and social identity theory in order to understand how to formulate best methods in performance management systems with teams in mind. This review will briefly discuss the definition and importance of teams, types of teams and implications for performance, purpose and challenges of team performance, along with including team performance in performance management systems and performance management process with rewarding team performance. Managing a team has its challenges. However, it does have its benefits with the current structure of organizations evolving to fit the technological advancements in global communications. In addition to global or international affairs, local organizations have grown to appreciate team performance with hierarchical structures flatter for cost efficiency and simplicity. Although team performance has its challenges, it is an important factor to consider for management and rewarding team performance. Our text defines teams as two or more people interacting dynamically and interdependently and share a common and valued goal, objective, or mission. Although team members share in these ideas, the individualistic aspects of ourselves will appear while working on projects with others. As this relates to performance, the performance management system will focus on collaborative ability as an additional element to measure performance outcomes. Team performance has become a popular topic for a variety of reasons. Changes in how business is conducted with the impact of technology over time results in businesses facing pressure to global markets. The trend has influenced communication capabilities to teams can be classified based on whether the task is routine or not, referring to complexities, while also classified by membership configuration, referring to being static or dynamic. Usually, routine task is well defined and easier to manage than non-routine tasks with outcomes depending on the duration of the project. From these two categories are three main types of teams based on task complexity and membership configuration dimensions. Work service teams are engaged in routine tasks such as manufacturing and service tasks, while project teams are assembled for a specific purpose and are expected to disband once the project or assignment is complete. The third team is network teams, which include members who are not constrained by time or space and members who are not limited by organizational boundaries. Usually, the team members are geographically dispersed and stay in touch via telecommunications technology, such as email, video conferencing, and of course, by telephone or text messaging. One of the implications for performance management is that it must consider the types of teams in question before performance measures are put in place. For example, work and service teams would benefit from peer review methods versus project teams who do not stay together long enough for such an assessment. An article by Ernesto Tavoletti, Stevens, and Dong called The Impact of Peer Evaluations in Team Effort, Productivity, Motivation, and Performance in Global Virtual Teams found that when peer evaluations are used during the project, team shows higher levels of group effort while lower levels of average productivity and motivation. There's really no clear evidence of improved performance. However, the idea of having a peer review in like a work group setting makes more sense versus doing periodic assessments or doing performance management versus network teams. Meanwhile, performance management of networks teams emphasize the future instead of past, focuses on developing individual competencies, which is reason why it would make sense for them to use an actual performance management method versus a peer review. There are some purposes and challenges of team performance management, and to reiterate, the purpose of team performance management is the same as the purpose for individuals, which is to manage employee performance outcomes based on values, standards, goals, and expectations with manager feedback, also including employee input. In addition to that, you have strategic, informational, documental, along with administrative, developmental, and organizational purposes for the performance management, confirming that it is multifaceted. However, the main challenge is performance management systems not being consistent with what they are measuring regarding team performance. Many organizations have become more team based, yet have not changed their performance management system to suit the new structure. To address these challenge, the questions of how to assess, balance, and identify individual and team contributions, along with attempting to measure team performance, must be answered. Designing a performance management system that includes team performance can be simple if six principles are considered during development. Interestingly, these six principles are in line with the six steps of performance management process, where knowing the prerequisites prior to beginning development is like confirming the task along with confirming that an actual team exists. This principle also involves knowing the knowledge, skills, and abilities needed for the task to be done. Making the investment to measure sets in motion the performance execution with rewards for performance outcomes. Performance assessment is where a multidimensional method approach is needed to assess individual as well as team performance. Focusing on processes along with outcomes attributes to the performance review, where process towards performance enhancement is discussed with the focus on performance outcomes. And then finally, performance renewal and recontracting is where overall performance outcomes are measured for long-term changes. Organizations can reward team performance in ways like those in which they reward individual performance. Merit or base pay is usually standard, with contingency pay now being included as part of the pay for performance reward system. An article by Neuberg, Piper, and Trevor sought to explore pay for performance effectiveness on future employee performance while integrating psychological and economic principles towards contingency perspective. They tested the role that four contextual factors play in pay for performance effectiveness, finding that finding that contrary to what traditional economic perspectives would predict, bonus pay may have a stronger effect on future performance than on merit pay. The results of this study also support the contingency approach to pay performance impact on future employee performance, as it was found that merit pay and bonus pay can substitute for each other, and that strength of pay performance affects as function of employee tenure. Team-based rewards are effective if they are implemented following the same principles used for individual rewards, with employees being eligible, reward being visible, while being contingent and reversible. Variable pay also falls in this category of reward systems for performance outcomes. One additional concept known as self-funded is where teams can generate savings that result from controlling costs on improving efficiency. The money saved is then returned to said team in the form of a bonus. In conclusion, managing the performance of others is necessary for the performance of the organization. The success of the organization is reflective of the high performing staff that are effectively managed through a comprehensive pay for performance system. With team performance as an added layer, peer reviews have been most effective in reducing social loafing while increasing team performance. For the team management process to be effective, it must follow the same 6 steps as an individual process while incorporating the 6 principles of team management. Team rewards can vary just like individual contingency plans, in most cases resulting in bonuses for saving or earning the organization profits. Overall, team performance management follows the same principles as for individual performance with the goal of maximizing employee performance for organizational success. Thank you.